I was driving down the road the other day and noticed this chair sitting out for free. First thing I'm going to do is remove the support that's holding the backrest. Next step is to take my oscillator and cut off the backrest. Then I'm going to use a drill and drill through where the seat was being held together. Next step is to take some 80 grit sandpaper and sand down the top of the seat because I'm going to restain it. The next step after this is to take what's called a Forstner bit. This Forstner bit I'm going to match to the same size hole that I already had removed, measure down 5 inches on both sides, and I'm going to start drilling through. A Forstner bit, you don't want to push too hard, but rock back and forth and get a nice, perfect, solid drill size out of it. I'm also going to grab a 1/2 inch Forstner bit and start drilling in some pre-marked locations. I'm going to take the legs and all the supports, and I'm going to put a primer on there. I'm going to use a white primer and let it dry a good couple of hours, and then I'm going to take some nice cabinet paint and give it a nice smooth finish, and I'm also going to put 2 coats on there. As you can see, it's looking really good with just that first coat. Now it's time to sand down that little plug that I got rid of. Once it gets sanded down, it's going to look really good. When I stain it, it's actually going to look awesome. But before I stain, I want to get some pre-stained wood conditioner. What this does is I'm going to put this all around the top of the seat, and it keeps the stain from blotching. This is definitely something you want to put on and let dry for about an hour. Once that's done, I'm going to grab some ebony stain and start putting it on there, going with the grain, but also making sure I get pushed in with my rag. I use a rag and not a brush because I feel like it gives it a nice clean finish. And then once that dries overnight, I'm going to use some polyurethane to put some nice finish on this, and it gives it a nice coating, and it also gives it a nice protectant. Once that's all done and it dries, I'm going to grab some rope here. This is 1 inch thick rope, and I'm going to tape the end so I can push it through the larger size holes on 2 of each side. Once I push that down in there and get the perfect length that I want, I'm going to tie a knot on both sides, and then I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to do the same with the smaller holes. Then I'm going to grab some sandpaper and just kind of rough up the legs a little bit to give it kind of a rustic look. I love how this is turning out. Now watch this. I'm going to put it at the front door. Look at those nice little twine ropes and everything and that perfect finish, and it looks awesome. And it's great for holding up a potted plant, anything that I want to put out there. I think it turned out beautiful.
You won't believe what I did with this $10 garage sale find. I grabbed this old wood filing cabinet at a garage sale, then I cut the cabinet down so it was a bit shorter. Then I cut some scrap MDF boards and I rounded the ends and I mitered the corners at 45 degrees and I attached it to the top using wood glue and brad nails. I filled all the holes with wood glue and let it dry. Then I sanded everything down and I gave it a really good wipe down with a damp rag, cleaned it all, and applied a spray can primer. This primer is gray because it's for darker paints. Once that was dry, I gave everything a sand with 220 grit sanding block. I wiped it all clean again and applied denim colored spray paint. Next, I applied antique rub and buff to the old hardware and reattached it once dry. I lined the drawer with some scrap wallpaper, and I also cut a piece of pine shelving and applied 2 coats of a clear finish and attached it to the new base that I made. And that is how I turned a $10 filing cabinet into a mini book nook, perfect for kids.
When I saw these mismatched bar stools at my local thrift store, I knew exactly what I could use them for. After a few measurements, I decided these stools were the perfect height for bedside tables. To start this DIY, I primed and painted both stools white. Once the stools were dry, it was time to distress. I used 220 grit sandpaper and roughed up the legs and the seat. This step is totally optional, but I was going for more of a farmhouse look, so the worn look worked for me. After wiping everything down, it was time for sealer. Using a brush, we applied 1 coat and let it dry completely. To make shelves for the nightstands, we measured and cut 2 interlocking pieces of shiplap. I painted the sides using the same white I used for the stools. removing the tape, I gave the edges a light sand. Then, just setting the wood into the rungs of the bar stools, and voila! I now have 2 new bedside tables. They are the perfect height next to the bed and provide just enough storage. I hope this inspired you to give forgotten furniture a new purpose.
I picked up these chairs on Marketplace and they're in bad shape. First thing I want to do is get rid of the webbing for the seats. I can either rip them off or use a knife to cut them, and they're easy to take off. Once I do cut them across the middle, I can just unravel them and they actually pop right out with these plastic pieces. Next, it was a mess, so I had to clean it off. A good squirt with the water hose on both of them will get it all the cobwebs and everything off. Next, it's time to paint. Now, when using spray paint, I want to make sure I use a little bit of coat first. Not too thick. I don't want any runs. It's easier to do 2 or 3 little coats than one big one with some runs. Once I get it all painted with a good quality paint, the next thing I went to a 1x3 board. This is a pine board, easy to cut. I measured it bigger than the seat that I wanted because what I'm going to do is place it across the seats from front to back with a little bit of spacing so that if it rains, the water will get through. Then I marked it and set my saw at a 2.5 degree bevel. Once it's marked, I'm going to cut it on the mark on each side to give it that slight bevel. Then when I got it on the seats, I'm going to mark them in the middle where the metal rod is. What I need to do is drill just a tiny little hole, not too deep, just a tad, just like that, get it sanded. And then what I'm going to do once it's sanded is it needs some staining, and best to use a high quality stain. Once I do this, I'm going to put it on a rag. I don't actually use a brush because I feel like using a towel gets a better penetration on the wood grain. If I put too much, I'm going to spread it out on another piece, but I will go back and wipe off any extra. I got to make sure I get all the way down the sides too and on the ends, and if it needs a second coat, do that. Once it's all stained, I'm going to set it on the chair and get it in the right position I want, and then I'm going to use what's called self-tapping screws. These have a little drill bit on the end. I will go through the little notch that I put on there with the drill bit, give it a drill, and then it eventually takes hold and goes on the seat. The reason I did the little notch is I want the head of the screw to sit inside the wood so it's not sticking up. That way when you sit on it, it doesn't cause any problems. Now, once I get all the screws in and everything that I need, watch this. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looked like after. I think the transformation was amazing. I loved it. Don't throw that old furniture away because you can upcycle it.